I am sure you heard someone say, I am an AWS engineer or I am a Python engineer. Like the tools is their entire identity. Yeah, today I want to talk about this. Don't be a tool engineer. Hello, I am Necati, a computer scientist with 20 years of experience, and in this channel, I just share my thoughts and experience. I want to talk about what I call tool engineers. These guys are just who focus on doing one thing, who defines themselves by a platform or a language. I want to make a clear distinction here. I will be brutally honest here. I'm not talking about the people who intentionally market themselves as X engineer, Y engineer. I'm talking about people who ties their identity to a platform, to a tool. Here is my take. Tools are tools. AWS is a tool. Yeah, it's a platform, it's a power platform, but at the end, it's a tool. GCP is a tool. Python is a tool. Rust, Kubernetes, these are tools, but beautiful tools. These are powerful tools and they are used to solve a problem. Engineering is understanding the problem, the constraints, and the trade-offs. The tool should follow the problem, not the other way around. But let me say something. I get it. I get why this happens because, employers optimize for keywords because it's fast. We need a GCP engineer. We need a React developer. It is easier to filter applications by just using these keywords. So that's how they judge. I understand that because it is not easy to judge when look at their resume and see what is the debugging skill of this person. It is not easy to understand from by looking at a CV. So I understand that everyone is playing the same game, just from opposite side of the tables. That's it. Employer is playing the game, employee is playing the game. Now, let me tell you a quick story. I had a contract that I needed to build a data pipeline end-to-end where Python is heavily used. So the day-to-day tasks were mostly, around using the Python language. So when the team realized my experience with ops, and then when they realized that I can build containers, deploy them to Kubernetes, I can spin up Kubernetes cluster, deploy to AWS, GCP, create container instances. So they were surprised. I know that sounds simple, but that is exactly my point. Their expectation was I was just going to be a tool engineer. And in this case, it was Python. But by trying to being an engineer, not just to be a tool engineer, this helps me to see everything end to end. And it helps me to track down the issues, whether it's an infra problem or it's a problem in the code. Don't get me wrong. Know your tools deeply. Depth is power. I'm not saying it's wrong. Maybe I am not as deep as you are. Maybe I even don't have that kind of depth. I understand that. But put the tool to the second phase. First, understand the problem. The problem comes first. The right order is, I believe, the right order is first you understand the problem, you understand the constraints, then you design the solution, then you choose and use the tool. Here's a trick surviving the keyword economy without becoming tool limited. So you can speak two languages. In one language, you will focus on the recruiters. You will list like AWS, GCP, Python, Terraform, whatever it is. Okay, so you will be shortlisted. And the second language, you also need to give a signal, provide a signal for the recruiters that somehow you explain each project with a couple of sentences in your CV. You mention, like what is the problem? What was the problem? How you solve it? What was the metrics you used? You just don't mention the tool. You start with the problem, solution, and then the tech stack. In interviews, keep asking this question. What are we optimizing for? What is the problem we are solving? Instead of just discussing the tools, instead of just discussing the tech stack. In your portfolios, tell the story. As I said, like problem, what are the constraints, solutions, trade-offs, metrics, and then tools, and then the tech stack. Look, employers will keep hunting for keywords. That's a fact. That is easy for them. I understand that. And that's fine. But don't let that define your skills. Don't let that define your craft. Be the person who can walk into any stack, ask the questions, and design a solution that fits. Think this way. I think it will help. You rent the tools, but you own your judgment, which starts with the problem and ends with the solution. Don't be a tool engineer.